In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your engine coolant fan on your Mercedes-Benz C300. It's located in front of your radiator. We're going to remove this cover first. You're just going to pull up on it and set it aside. And now we're going to remove these two airflow tubes. Ours are not correct. Yours should just unhook from here. And right here is another tab where you'd push in and pull this off. Do that for the other side as well. Again, ours is broken. Now we're going to unhook this hose here by just pulling it off. And then you're going to lift up on either side and unhook the rest of this. There should be 4 clips that are holding it to the engine, like so. We're going to remove our lines out of these plastic brackets to begin. There's one on this side as well. Ours is broken, so we're just going to move that over there. Remove this fastener in the middle here. Ours is missing. We'll have to replace that when we reinstall. And then we're going to go to the side brackets and take those out. Right here on both sides, there's a plastic bracket where you just took the cable out of. There's a tab if you feel underneath. Push it back towards you. And then you're going to pull forward with the plastic and up. And that's going to unhook it from this little square metal bracket. Do the same on the other side. We're going to unhook it from this middle bracket here too. To do that, you're going to pick up on it and push down, and then it will release. Do the same on the other side. It's broken on us. Now you have an option. You can either take this bolt out, which I find easier, or you can unhook your grill from this plastic piece. Problem with that is it's old, and plastic with age doesn't really mix. So I'm going to take out my bolt. To get the fan out, we're going to remove these 2 bolts here and just let this rod go back a little bit. And we're going to take out the 3 bolts on this side and the 3 bolts on the other side. And then we're going to remove this metal cover. There is plastic covers that are supposed to be here. You're going to want to remove those. There's probably grommets holding it in. Ours are all missing. So make sure you remove those so you can see these bolts. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove these bolts. There should be enough to slide this out. I'm going to use a 10mm ratchet wrench to take out this bolt. And do the same on the other side. Before removing this, make sure there's no hoses attached. This is broken off of something. So if yours is attached, you can probably just unhook it. So just remove anything that's on this metal piece. Now we're going to remove this. I'm going to pull back on this rod and slide this out like that. Now we're going to remove these 2 lines by taking them off this bracket. We're going to use a T15 Torx bit to unscrew the screw on the front here, and then it should come off. Just make sure your lines are free, like that. Remove your screw. Now we're going to disconnect this connector right here. There's 2 ears. There's one on this side and this side. And you're going to squeeze it and pull it off. Might have to give it a little bit of a wiggle, but it should unplug. And just set that over to the side and get it out of the way. Looking at the fan, it looks like there was maybe a grommet and something holding this harness to the fan at one point. Ours is missing, so when we reinstall, we're gonna zip tie this harness to the fan. If you have a grommet or something holding your harness, you're gonna wanna remove that before moving your connector to the side. Now we're gonna go directly above where that grommet should be and remove this one so we can remove the harness from the fan. So I'm going to use a trim tool for that. Slide it over it. And take it off. Move that to the side as well. The more you have out of the way, the easier it is going to get this fan out. You're going to push in on this tab on both sides. I'm using a flathead screwdriver. And once you hear that click, you're going to pick up your fan. It should slide up slightly. Slide up the other side slightly, and then pull it up. Once you get past those two locking tabs, you should be able to pick up your fan. Now you can remove it. There's 4 spots for the fan to be secured to the radiator. This one's more of a clip-in. Has to get past this little lip here, and this one just slides in. So we're going to slide the fan into the bottom ones as we line up the top ones and then push down once we're all lined up. So here's the one that clips in, and here's the one that slides in. And the same is on the other side. So that's where we're going to start. Get it past, get both tabs past. So I'm going to put my driver's side part of the fan out a little bit so I can get it past the hose on the passenger side. And then I'm going to put that tab under the AC line, and then I'm going to slide it down, making sure the bottom of the fan is touching the radiator. And as I lower it, I'm going to try to get all 4 tabs lined up. We have one more hose to get past. And now we're going to line up all 4 tabs with the radiator bracket. So you're going to take a peek down there and make sure it's lined up. If it's not, you're going to pick it up and wiggle it to get it into place. You also got to be mindful about these AC lines. Make sure they're not under the fan. Once you see all 4 tabs lined up, you're going to push down on the fan and lock it into place, like that. Let's plug in our connector on the fan. So I'm on the driver's side, below the upper radiator hose. And we're just going to line it up. Once it's lined up, you're going to push it in and hear that click. Now that we've plugged that in, you're going to put your harness back in the fan. There's 2 holes and 2 grommets. There's one here, and there's one down here. So just push those in. And if you don't have those, you can use zip ties. Now we're going to put our bolt in for our AC lines on the other side, the passenger side, very low part of the fan. Feed your bolt through both holders for the AC lines and into the fan. Once you know you're through both, you can tighten it down. Make sure they're secure. Here's the underside of this metal bracket that goes here. There's rubber bushings that fit onto this, and this goes into the radiator. Just make sure both are there so that it holds the radiator still. And now we're going to install. You got to lift up this rod. If yours isn't wiggly enough, you can loosen up those nuts where the oil cooler line is. Basically the other end of the rod. I'm going to slide this under. And I'm going to fit my bushing into the radiator. If you need to move it around, you can. And just slide it in. You got to turn it slightly in order to slide it through the bracket. If it doesn't line up right away, that's how you could line it up. There we go. Okay, now that we're locked in place, I'm going to put this back in. Now we're going to put our bolts in. There's 3. There's 1 on this front pad, and then there's 2 here. And these are the bolts that you're using. Once you got them hand started, we're going to tighten them down. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. And for that one on the inside, you're going to use a ratchet wrench to tighten it down. Go about a quarter of a turn after you're tight. Now we're going to put our 2 shorter bolts in for this bracket. And I'm just going to make sure this is in the right spot by pulling it forward and tightening it down. You can usually tell by the markings on the bracket where it was. It's good to line it up where it was. Let's put this piece back. To do that, you're going to slide it into the 2 notches on the grill. It should pop in. There you go. One side and the other. Once it's in the 2 notches, you're going to put your bolt in. Ours only had 1 bolt. We're not sure what was in the other side. I'm just going to use a push pin to secure it after I tighten this up. And that'll just lock it in place. Now we'll put our plastic shield on. I'm going to line it up with this hole. Our vehicle is missing several pieces and parts. There should be plastic pieces here that you need to attach. We don't have those. Now we're going to put our plastic push pin in here. And we can put all our engine cover back on. And if you have your plastic shields here to go over the headlights, do that as well. We're going to attach our cable into our holder. There's a spot here and one on the other side. And also in the middle. This is broken for us. Attach our cable here as well. This hose goes right in here. And this should be attached to this. Now you can put your engine cover on and whatever else there is covering the headlights. Slide it into place. Make sure the square is lined up. And then once you're lined up, you're going to push in. There's 4 points that you have to push in. Now we're going to install our airflow tubes. Notice where the curve is and line it up accordingly. And then push it onto here. Yours should line up, ours doesn't. Do the same on the other side. Make sure you put your tube back on. Slide it on, and now we can put our last cover on. There should be 2 clips here. We only have 1. And there should be 2 grommets that fit into these 2 spaces. Line things up. You're going to see 2 slits here that fit into that groove. Like that. Should snap into place. And you're good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.